Information overload was but a phrase often used when someone was put off by intimate, squishy details about stuff they'd rather not know about. Nowadays, it feels much more literal, as we're often given so much of it that it's become a constant and overwhelming barrage of noise that's slowly driving us all mad. In my own experience, I deliberately forced myself to stop reading rolling news updates regarding rates of infection as the COVID-19 virus spread its tendrils across the planet, freezing society in place in 2020. I didn't do it out of a wish for blissful ignorance, but out of necessity, out of fear that I was about to collapse into a human-shaped folding chair of depression. I don't regret it in the slightest, as it only reminded me why I had previously removed myself from the news cycle years ago, and why it has done my mind a world of good. I believe many people have become horribly afflicted by a similar overwhelming sense of dread that haunts them day to day thanks to the internet and how it has shrunken the world, providing an endless televised feed of every nasty little thing going on in every corner of the earth, all at the same time. It's enough to drive anyone into a depression spiral, let alone yours truly fearing some kind of horrible relapse. This mixture of panic and melancholy that I and others have felt for years thanks to the 24/7 news cycle reminds me of when I had my very first panic attack age 16, having learned about how many of the systems in place we're all supposed to trust are, in fact, corrupted beyond belief and run by self-serving villains. The exploitation of third world nations, the greed and viciousness of corporate structures, and the sheer and total hatred the economic system has towards people simply for existing. It was all a bit too much. I'm convinced that same profound sense of powerlessness I experienced in that moment has become a perpetuated element in everyone else's lives today, projected directly into their eyeballs from the myriad of screens they stare at daily, hosting this omnipresent live feed of natural disasters, wars, famine, disease, murder, terrible opinions written by bigoted morons, and revealing horrors committed by people in positions of power or admiration. It's not enough that many of us have grown to learn that we've been lied to for a good portion of our lives, but are now constantly reminded of those old lies and atrocities while being forced to drink in new ones with our morning coffee. It's no fucking wonder why many, especially from my generation and the kids right now, appear to be more jaded, cynical, and depressed about their lives and the state of the world, despite the small things that make us grit our teeth and bear through it in order to appreciate them. Here's the kicker though. I'm glad it's there. The internet, I mean. Anything can be bad for your health if you have too much of it. You can drown if you drink too much water. And what we all need to do is moderate our time exposing ourselves to the live feed. It's a tool like anything else, and it's how we use it that matters. You don't even need to stop using the internet entirely. Believe it or not, while social media has done an incredible job tricking people to thinking it has homogenized the internet, it's a hell of a lot bigger than that, and you can find reprieve from Twitter's trending module if you go exploring. Personally though, I recommend a little less time staring at screens and a little more time reading a book or going out for a walk. Don't worry about being uninformed about anything vital. I've always found that the most important things, lest you go completely off the grid and live like Ted Kaczynski did, will find their way to you. Everything else is just noise you don't need to burden yourself with.